Hello, right. Oh, that as well. This is part 2 of a 3-part series thing, and so if you haven't watched part 1, get back there now and watch it. What do you think you're doing? Call yourself a friend of mine. Get back. I'm going to do it. I'm going to have a test on this at the end of term, so you better knuckle down and watch it. But anyway, what are you talking about, Grab? Anyway, if you've watched the first half, I hope you've enjoyed it. The second half is even better. A few more headaches, a few more brick walls that I slam into. And, you know, my granddaughter flits about the place a bit more and this and that. And but anyway, so the end of the last one, if you did watch the last one, it kind of just ends, you know. I should have probably did give you some warning, right? Or that's the end of this one, go watch the next one. So I'll do that at the end of this one. Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe, do all of that good stuff, get me monetized, because, you know, I need some money for stuff and that, you know. I broke my glasses about 17 times. It's covered in super glue and I can't afford new ones. I need a new jigsaw. Cowie, just come on, help, you know, help. Well, before I could go any further with the headstock, really, I needed to drill the holes for the tuners. So I just bit the bullet and went for it. I wasn't really sure how to go about this part. Use the table saw or the band saw, or just maybe use the rasp. But as you can see, I chose the table saw, and then I used the band saw after this, but I forgot to hit record, which is probably just as well, because my blade wandered off and I screamed unmentionables at me bandsaw. And now I'm not really sure how to do this. Do I do it like this, you know what I mean, and move it along? Or do I do it like this? So well, all the footage for this part is really bad. It's just basically my back, and I might as well just get rid of it. I should have had a mask on, definitely. Well, apart from my almost definite death from emphysema or something like that, that's worked absolutely phenomenally brilliantly. Let me just see, but I've got a bit of a chip here, but because the fretboard is wider than it needs to be, I'll be taking that off anyway. And I did think that might be a problem, and that's half the reason why I left it big. But done in minutes. Oh, I'm so stoked about that, man. That's so good. So here I'm drilling the hole in the headstock, which will allow me access to the truss rod. So I put these little locator pins in here, because when I put a bit of masking tape over there so no glue gets down inside that thing, and another little locator pin there, because when I put glue on this and then fretboard on there, it's going to slide all over the place, I think. And so here I'm actually applying glue to the neck, and I forgot to tilt the camera down, so all of this is just a waste of time. I sometimes wonder, is YouTube really something that I want to do? Well, so here I'm using a spoke shave to take the majority of the overhang off the fretboard before putting it on the router table and finishing it off with a flush trim bit. So I bought 3 or 4 nut blanks off Temu, and I'm just filing the string slots into them using a nut file. Little homemade chisel. I'm not sure if I should be using a bit of super glue. I've seen them using super glue. I might just have a little bit read about that. Yeah, I think my safest bet is to use super glue. So I will. I've done the ones that I had already put in. I took them out and put super glue in them. So So here I'm using a fret press on my pillar drill. I'm not actually sure if it's worth doing this because I've already glued the frets in, but I think I'm feeling a little bit of movement, so it might be worthwhile.
So this is a fret file, and its objective is to put a crown on the frets after you've leveled them, which I did off camera. So the process is, after you've flattened all the frets and made them all level with each other, you now need to put the crown back on them. So you mark the tops of the frets with a black marker, or any colour really will do, and file away until all that's left of the marker is a thin black line down the centre of the fret. And by the way, this fret file has 3 different sizes for the various frets that are available to people, and in this case I'm using jumbo frets. So the thing I'm about to use here, there it is there, is called, I believe, a fret rocker, which is the same as me, actually, because I rock the occasional fret every now and then, because I'm insecure. But anyway, enough of my personal life. So what it does is it has 4 different sized flat surfaces, and you need to cover 3 frets at a time, and as the frets get smaller, that's what the 4 different sized flat surfaces are for, so that you're only ever covering 3 frets at a time, and it rocks on whatever high fret you have, so you can file a little more off the high frets as they come about. By the way, the fret file wasn't the best purchase I've ever made. It was just a cheap one off Temu, and it's already starting to lose its bait. But I'm using stainless steel frets as well, so that probably won't help, but I might invest in a better one.
Well, I'm real chuffed with that. Machines, they're awesome. I didn't fancy doing that by hand.
So here you'll see I'm making a bit of ebony dust and applying a bit of super glue to the join where I needed to join the 2 pieces of ebony. There's no gap there actually, it's just a hairline, but this will make it disappear.
So I'm attempting to shape the neck, you know, with the Shinto rasp. And I don't know how to hold it, you know. I've put masking tape on this, so maybe I should have shape the neck before I polish the frets, at least, you know. But, you know, I'm learning. I've never done this before. I've made a guitar body before, but this is my first neck. And, yeah, it's tricky, you know. And I have no idea if it's going to intonate and be in tune, because you know, my measurements were as accurate as I could make them. But so I'll show you what I'm doing. I've got it in the vase, yeah. Well, that's going to work. I don't know if you can see it properly there.
There you are. Can you turn that down? Can you turn the noise level that sandpaper is making down? Yeah.
What's that?
It says 22.07, but it's constantly changing.
Yeah, but it's close enough for what we need. What's here?
I just wanna be part of the ceremony.
22.1. Oh, 21.
No, 21.67. I learned it at school. 21.67.
Righto, well. What's wrong with you? You little psychopath. Well, the neck's all but done, I think. You know, maybe a little bit more tinkering here and there. We need to put the holes in at the bottom for what are you doing?
Being the crazy child I am.
Well, stop it. Right, anyway, so what do you reckon, Bob?
Let me hold it. Let me do an inspection. I'm the inspection person. And I'm giving it an inspection. Let's see.
Are you looking at it or the camera? What do you reckon? How does it feel?
I think... One, you should take the tape off.
Yeah, well, I don't want to yet, so...
Okay. And I think it's good. But what do you guys think? Write it down in the comments.
So these tabs that I've left on here, I will obviously take them off eventually. But what I'm going to use them for is I'm going to put locator pins in there, or even screws. You can put screws in there, you know. So yeah, just in case you were wondering about these lumpy things, you know. I might leave them on actually because I'm a bit crackers. Merry Christmas to me. It's gonna line up. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm now trying to line the bridge up. And how you do that is I've tied a bit of like fishing line, you know. I tied that to the first hole there, and then you thread this end through your bridge, apparently. And then tie it off to your top hole. Put the top nut in. So now you measure from the top nut to the center of the 12th fret, which is, it's 330.2. So the idea here is to measure from the center of the 12th fret, the same measurement again from the nut, which is 330.2. And then you have this bridge saddle here. You have that pushed as far forward as you can go, and you line that up with your mark. Because when you come to intonate it, it can only go backwards, you know what I mean? So you've got all that space there to pull it back to get good intonation. But yeah, upwards and onwards.
So here I'm using a self-centering drill bit so I can mark the position of the holes that will run from the front to the back through the body so the strings can pass through them. So here I'm using the shallow guide holes that I made with the self-centering drill bit to drill halfway through the thickness of the body using the pillar drill. So you'll see coming up that there's a freeze frame of a jig that I set up on the pillar drill. There it is. So the pin you can see in the middle of the MDF there is perfectly in line with the drill bit in the chuck of the pillar drill. So I can locate the holes that I just drilled halfway through the body on the pin in the MDF and then drill through the back to meet the hole and eliminate any chance of them wandering. That being said though, it's extremely difficult to see under there and actually locate the hole on the pin. I eventually set up a light which helped a little bit, but it was still super awkward. And I realised after I had finished, of course, that I could have taken the clamp off holding the body together and had the body in two halves, which would have been so much easier. God.
What? There's got to be an easier way. You dafty. Both are in line. Oh, I've got a sweat on. So the ferrule is, can you see that there? It has a 8mm like head on it there, which is about 1 millimetre deep. And then there's a 6mm shaft on it that tapers down at the bottom there. And the whole thing is 11mm deep. And because the jig is still set up on the pillar drill over there, I'll be able to locate the holes on the pin and because it's all still set up, you know, to the perpendicular to the dongle.
Haven't you people ever heard of a barber shop? Get a haircut, you scruffy cunt.
So what I'm trying to do here is find the last harmonic on the lower E string there. Oh well, it's actually a B string on this guitar, but directly below the last harmonic is where I should ideally place the bridge pickup. So after I had put the recesses in for the hollow body bit, you know, and Nick asked me if I could contour the back for, like, you know, a belly contour for his, you know, guitars have them, a contour. And I said I couldn't, but I think there's enough meat on the back to give me a little bit of one there. I've drew the line where I can go to, and I've drew a line here. It's going to be very slight, but it's going to have body contour. So shh, don't tell him. It isn't much of a contour, but, and I'll tell you what, this rasp.
Freaking weirdo. Jesus. Righto, so that was that. This is the end of that. And thanks for watching. Yes, I love yous. Yous are awesome folk. And the next one will be up very soon. It might even be up now. It probably will be because this is a recording, and you might have, you know what I'm saying? I know what I'm saying.